Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Career Corner podcast where we answer your cozy career cues. I'm your season 5 host, Malcolm Alexander, and I am so excited because today we are joined by Jenna Lamb from Ithaca College's IT department. Thank you so much for being here, Jenna.
Thanks for having me.
To start us off, I'd love it if you could just say a little bit about what your actual role here at Ithaca is. Yeah.
Sure. So my title is Associate Director of Project Management and Process Innovation. So I lead a team of 5 individuals who are either anywhere on the spectrum from project management and process analysis. So they're working on like big changes on campus and helping others do their work better through the implementation of new softwares or transitioning from old technology to new technology. So big changes. All the way to the other end of the spectrum where we have forms and survey specialist and platform support for commonly used business tools like Zoom, which we're using now, the Microsoft Suite, Adobe, Creative Cloud, and Express, FormStack and Qualtrics, and perhaps a few others. And so on that end, we're helping people do their work better, more efficiently, finding new sort of tools and features to use that help them in their everyday work, really down to like the individual and task level.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that I personally just throughout my 4 years on campus have had experiences with a lot of the programs that you just mentioned. So I know that they are definitely used every single day around campus. I know that with tech is changing a lot right now, and that's a big discussion on a lot of college campuses. I'm just curious to know, I guess, if you could be a little bit more specific about sort of some of the newest stuff that you guys have been implementing or helping implement around campus. Some, I guess, anything exciting that you think is really exciting that you guys have been helping facilitate around campus.
Yeah, absolutely. A few things. One of the new things for students that is really exciting is My IC, and that's a student portal. The idea is a one-stop place where students can go and see all of the resources and different sort of departments and services that are available to you as a student without having to kind of navigate the website and all kinds of different platforms and services. So it's really bringing all of these things together into one place. If you think of the apps.ithaca.edu page, which many people are familiar with that and go there as sort of their gateway to other places. It's like that, but with way more features, way more functionality. And so it's got calendars and integrations with Engage and other platforms. You'll be able to see more information about yourself and your schedule all in one place. So we launched that in September for the first time, but it's an iterative process. So we are currently in the phase of getting student feedback. There's a lot of different ways that we could format and add functionality, and we want to make sure that it's designed to be the most helpful as possible for students. So we've had a couple focus groups and we'll be having more. There's a form where students can submit feedback. So we're really trying to build this together with the student body so that it's most helpful for you all. So that's one thing that's exciting. Really looking forward to the future of that. There's a lot of potential there, and it'll be really interesting to see how the progress goes with that. Another thing this fall that we launched for students is Canva Pro for all students. So that is another platform that you can use to create presentations and graphics and that kind of thing. Have you used Canva Pro?
Yes, that has been incredibly popular amongst me and basically all the students I know. We're very, very, very relieved to see Canva Pro happen. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so those are some of the ones that I think are really impactful that students feel and see in their everyday. Some more back end projects have been taking place just to help the student experience and make things more efficient and effective. A lot of the registrar forms, like change your major, change your minor, course registration override, those processes have been redesigned and implemented using a new platform, a new tool to make them easier and hopefully faster to completion. So, yeah, those are a couple of things that have been exciting recently.
That is all really exciting. I mean, that's all things that, whether on the back end or more on, I guess, like the daily practical end, all things that are being used a lot and at very important times, 100%. I'd love to hear a little
Yeah.
bit more about how you and your team sort of identify these places that maybe could use new software or some sort of IT implementation. Do professors come to you and sort of say, hey, I'd like to do this. Could you help me out? Or is it more that you guys are constantly looking around for places that could use improvement?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, we definitely always have our eyes out because I think our we have a team of problem solvers, so we just love to, encounter problems that we can help people with and offer solutions. So some of them we just happen upon in our everyday conversations and interactions with people, but many of them are brought to us. When it comes to projects, we have a project intake process. So there's a form where members of the community can go out to that are a part of a department that wants to maybe search for a new product. Maybe it's to replace something they already have that's outdated or being retired, or maybe it's a completely new software and service offering that they don't have, and they either want to search for a solution or they have already found a solution that they want to go ahead with, and they're reaching out to us for help with implementing it. I will say, just for to clarify, my team works primarily with the staff side and on the administrative side. The CIE, which is the Center for Instructional Design and Instructional Tools and Educational Design, something like could be getting that. It's the CIE. Jenna Linskins leads that area. And if Jenna watches this, I'm sorry for butchering that name. Um, but they are really the center for faculty for getting IT help. So any of the sort of teaching and learning related projects go through the CIE, and they would be the first ones to help them. Now, back to the project process. So once we get one of these projects that's a project request, then we work with the area that's requesting it, figure out what's needed, maybe get involved with the vendor, figure out what's needed from the IT support side. Then the college has a contract review process that involves approval by risk management and legal, and there's some like IT security review as well. And once something clears that process, then we can begin working on implementing it and possibly migrating from an old solution if that's the case. So that's sort of the project side. And that's when we have a sort of vendor provided solution. We do sometimes create custom solutions, and that's when I bring in other IT teams that have the technical capability to build something in-house. And then we, as a part of those implementations and designing these solutions, will often do process improvement while, mixed in with all of the other parts of those efforts. So we'll look for opportunities to improve processes, whether it means, consolidating steps or doing things simultaneously to shorten the length of a process, or figuring out that maybe something that we used to do for a certain purpose is outdated. We actually don't need to do that anymore. We can take steps out like that. So for a long time, that's sort of been process and analysis, and process improvement has been a part of projects. And now my team is taking more of a process improvement perspective, and we're helping to offer this help with areas to look at their processes and just focus on process improvement, figuring out what IT tools we might already have that we can help implement to improve that process, or maybe it's keeping the tools that they have and just changing how they're using them. And so, yeah, a lot of requests come to us. Some are we already have a solution in mind and we're ready to go ahead. And some of them are we have a problem and we have no idea what the solution is, and will you help us figure it out? Um, and then we do that.
Awesome. So a lot of different ways that problems and all these different implementations sort of get put into place around
Mhm.
campus. This might not really be, I guess, your specific department within IT, but I'd love to still hear any thoughts you have on this anyway. Are there any like IT specific resources that you think students either don't know about or don't use enough?
From my perspective and things that, my team supports, I mean, certainly Canva Pro is one of the new ones, and my IC is a growing resource that we really want to get students feedback on and make it actually useful and really helpful. So I would want more students to know about those two since they're relatively new. Um, if you go to our website, ithaca.edu/IT, there's a page with resources for students. Um, so I guess this is what I would say is I wish that more students knew that that page existed because that's where we list all of the things that students can have access to, including the Microsoft tools and how to sign up for things. And anytime we're adding a new service that's available, we'll always be adding it to that page. So that's a fantastic resource.
Awesome. Well, it's definitely really helpful to get out there. I mean, I'm sure I know that it can be easy to get a little bit lost with all of the different things that get offered. So I think that that'll definitely be helpful for students. Last kind of closing thoughts here, I guess. If there's anything else that you'd like to share, anything else that you feel would really be important to emphasize about sort of your role, what your team does, anything that you're really excited about that might be upcoming, just sort of anything else you'd like to share.
Just anything I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, one thing that we haven't brought up yet is AI. So every student, faculty, and staff member has access to Microsoft Copilot, which in the back end is powered by OpenAI technology, ChatGPT 5. It sometimes performs differently if you kind of put them face to face, like ChatGPT and Copilot. But all of this technology is changing so fast. It's been sometimes hard to keep up, but I also want everyone to know on campus that they have access to Copilot as our sort of college provided AI chatbot. Works just like ChatGPT. It actually looks almost exactly the same. And when you're signed in with your Ithaca College credentials, you also have enterprise data protection, which means that any data that you put in will not be stored or used by Microsoft or OpenAI. It will not be used to train the models. And that's taking away the risk that the AI models will accidentally spit out this information that could be private or sensitive or personal. It could be like your student work. Um, it won't spit that out to someone else using the tool. And there's not the risk, like with many of these free AI tools, that they're going to save your data and just have it out there in the cloud somewhere, where it's who knows like what the security protections are that would be protecting that. So it puts your data at risk. So one of the concerns with AI tools is what is it going to do with the data? And so I would like everyone to know that when they are using Copilot and logged in with your IC credentials, you do have that data protection. Um, and also, I mean, my team is just another one of the tools in our toolbox. We're always trying to help people find ways to use AI to help them in their work. Um, yeah, I'm sure that you've played around with it, but it can be really good at like drafting things. It can be a great thought partner and can help give you feedback on writing and stuff like that. So there's a lot of use cases around the campus, even for like organizing sort of unstructured data. That's something that has really helped me out if I have a lot of data and I just want it to get in a table and it would take me hours to manually type that all into an Excel spreadsheet, and having Copilot do it is just so nice. So that's my little spiel on AI. And the other thing I guess I would say just a little bit more about my background. I come from a project management background, and it's been a great career trajectory for me. I wish that I had found it earlier as a student. It's allowed me to learn a lot about technology and all the different areas and how everything kind of connects and interact. Really like a really broad base of knowledge as I have gotten into IT. And it's also allowed me to, as I'm managing projects, work with a lot of members of our campus and also IT and get to form all kinds of relationships, which has been really valuable to me and just helping solve people's problems. Sometimes it can be difficult, change is hard, but ultimately, I think, we can provide help that makes people feel better about their work and help save them time and makes the experience better for students or whoever the users are. So project management, I would say, has been a great way for me. I had a degree in business, and it's helped me really get into the IT field and combine my background in business and my passion with solving problems and also my intrigue in IT. So, if any students are listening to this and those things sound interesting as a combo, I would definitely recommend looking into a career in project management.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing both of those thoughts. I think obviously because this is the Career Corner podcast, we do love to hear about people's career paths, how the career that you currently have can differ from what you studied in college, how can skills be transferable, how can changing your career be really awesome and really enlightening and really great experience. So I think everything you just shared really speaks to that. And everything you said about Copilot and AI in campus, I know obviously in higher education right now AI is a hugely talked about thing. I know at Ithaca, it's being talked about a lot between faculty and staff, and students are a mix of maybe a little bit anxious and worried and excited about how AI is going to be sort of mixed in with higher education. And so I think it's really important for students to hear that there are these tools that are really designed to be there to help you and to not be there to sort of, I guess, perpetuate a lot of the negatives that people see surrounding AI. So I think it's really great for people to hear everything that you just said. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. No problem.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I think we got to talk about some really excellent stuff, some really interesting things, things that I definitely know very little about, and I think a lot of our listeners will be really interested to hear more about and learn more about, and will maybe investigate a little bit more about on their own. And thank you for listening to another episode of the Career Corner podcast. We will see you again very soon. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow Career Corner on Instagram and Spotify to stay up to date with future releases. If you're interested in posing some more cozy career cues or in checking out the Career Closet, Headshot Booth, and all the other cool resources available, feel free to stop by drop-in hours of the Center for Career Exploration and Development in Miller Faculty Center 101 from 11 to 2, Monday through Friday. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Career Corner podcast.